Let me talk about tennis. I'm very lucky to have played tennis or be playing tennis. It's a wonderful sport. You play in, it's an individual sport. At the same time, it's a team sport as well. You play singles, you play doubles. It makes you a complete person. Your personality, it takes care of everything, your behavior, your attitude. It's a very versatile sport as well, because it takes care of endurance, agility, strength, flexibility, reflexes, everything all together. So it's quite a versatile, exciting, fun, entertaining game, which is loved by a lot of people, millions of people. We have one of the maximum viewers for this particular sport. So I'm very lucky to have been associated with this sport, and just going to talk about basic fundamentals, because I know we have some of the club players joining in today, some youngsters, upcoming players, some newcomers who've never played this sport. So I'm just going to be talking about some basic fundamentals. And as a child, I was quite weak in math. So I would just look at how I would just simplify a particular problem. So my fundas are the same. I just like to keep it very simple. The techniques, yes, they are important in order not to get injured, take care of certain fundamental biomechanics of the body. And that's the whole idea of going through the right technique. But we see a lot of unorthodox players with very different styles of game, where you would think that how the hell can this person hit with this particular grip, or that kind of impact. But it's up to each individual, how maybe their muscle groups are very strong to be able to carry out such. It not necessarily that you can just hit anyhow. So there is a set of technique that one follows. So I'm just going to be talking about the basic forehand backhand techniques, and going to be talking about, we'll see how the flow goes on. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about forehand. So like the grip, yeah, again, keep it very simple. You see how comfortably you can hold. The basic technique is you just brush down the racket and just hold the racket like that. And this is your comfortable grip. Just see how comfortably you can hold on. Yeah, just how comfortable you are in holding the racket. And that's how it is. And as for hitting the stroke, there are many players who end up hitting the stroke with closed arms, closed hands. You see, whenever you want to throw something, for example, this is a ball, you want to throw something, you don't throw something like this. It will not give a throw or any power into it. So how do you throw? With your hands, elbows apart from your body, and when you throw something, it gives a lot of power. So it's the same basic fundamental to hitting any stroke. Just keep yourself open, yeah, just away. Your elbows are up. So when you're hitting the stroke, this is the basic thing. See, a tennis ball weighs about I think 50 to 60 grams. Yeah. And the speed of the tennis ball, for example, a serve, it comes to about, for an average club player, would be anywhere close to 100 or 150 kilometers per hour. So that's pretty fast. For you. If you're hitting with the wrong technique, there is a chance of getting injury. Yeah. So that's why we keep certain things in mind. We protect our joints. Yeah. So that's the whole idea of hitting with the right technique. So the best thing, so I'm going to be talking out of my experience, what has worked for me. And over the years, I've had many injuries throughout my tennis career. So yeah, I'm just going to share that with you. So so the non-playing hand is equally important. So when you take the support of your non-playing hand and take it up, now you see how my elbow is stretching outwards. It's just going away from my body. And as you take your hand back, you know, my elbow is still away from my body. It's not here. So this is the basic mistake that a lot of club players or youngsters they make, because it's still weak for children. Yeah. And some, it's just the memory, the bad memory, the wrong technique that they've developed with. But just keeping this in mind, keeping it up, keeping it away, and even when you're hitting the shot, it is still away, and as you take it forward, it is still away. So the next mistake that most people do, when they are closing out a shot, they again bring the hand close to their chest. So this is another thing. When you are throwing something, you don't throw like this. Your hand completely goes out wide. It's stretched out. That's when you get the throw and the power. Yeah. So it's just very simple. Just keeping it away from your body and following it up till the end. Yeah. And it's the same with the backhand. You see how comfortably, whatever suits you, because unlike badminton, this is not a wristy sport. Your wrist is going to be very firm. Yeah. So you don't break your wrist when you're hitting a forehand, not like this. It's again straight. If you had watched Indrajit's session yesterday, as he was mentioning, if you would keep a wristband and a pen, you know, you see the wrist and your forearm, your hand is in the same line. It's not breaking. Yeah. So you're not breaking your wrist. Yeah. That's how it goes. Now with the backhand, again, just hold on to any grip which is not breaking your wrist when you're hitting. So you take, if you're a single-handed player, yeah, again, the same fundamental, your hands are outstretched. They are away from the body. They are not close to the body. They are away from the body. Your elbow is away from the body, and you hit a stroke. Even again, your non-playing hand is also up like a cross. You know, it's stretched out wide. It's not only that you're hitting with the right hand, the playing hand, which goes, and the left is doing nothing. No, they both go up in the air. If you're a double-handed player, again, you keep your hands away from the body and you hit out straight. Again, watching both the elbows up here. So it's very simple. This is the upper body. The lower body, your feet, yeah, it's, I would recommend hitting a closed stance. A closed stance, it helps in body rotation. Yeah, your torso, it rotates perfectly fine without giving any jerk. Yeah, and in the same way here. Now what other things happen when you're hitting with the closed stance? You are forced to move well. Yeah, you're not cutting corners. You're not just hitting with the open stance. Open stance, yes, when you have less time, you have a very fast player playing against, and you don't have time, or you're stretched out wide, so you go with the open stance. But whenever possible, go with a closed stance, because it gives the right point of contact, correct timing. You move well. If you're moving well, you're going to have a better timing with the ball. Yeah. And the body rotation is required in order to have a good force on the ball. Yeah. And you know, half the work is done when you have a better stance. When your footwork is right, half the work is done. Yeah. So these are the basic fundamentals of hitting a shot. We can be open for taking questions, and if there are any questions, we can take them up with technique.
All right, ma'am. We have some questions, and I would request everyone to put down their questions in the chat box here. We take the first question. How do I put topspin on my ground strokes?
Yeah, so when you see the ball here, yeah, you just got to brush it. So from, if you're hitting a forehand, from a 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock, that's how you roll it. So the more topspin depends on the point of the acceleration. Yeah, if you are able to accelerate this point around the ball fast, it's going to spin. It's going to spin higher. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. Next question. Is weight transfer important in serving and ground strokes?
Absolutely. uh, it's the same when you're throwing the ball. What happens? You are putting, automatically the body is required to move. Yeah. So the weight transfer is absolutely important, because it's a machinery. Body is a machinery, and everything together is putting in an effort. Now if there is a break anywhere in any part of the machinery, it might break down, it might lead to injuries. So actually, if everything flows in the motion, there are very less chances of injury, and your stroke play is going to be very effortless.
All right, ma'am. Please teach us how to hit an overhead.
Sure, I'm going to come on to this next. By a lot of my friends have been asking. We played together, and in case I make any mistakes, I know they're going to teach me the same thing. But yeah, so we get on to the overheads, the smashes. Yeah. First, we got to understand, what is this shot? It's a killer shot, isn't it? This is the shot which gets us points, right? So the only difference is, but the only difference in the serve and overheads is that in serve, I'm tossing it myself, and in overheads, there is a ball coming from the other side of the court. Yeah, that's the only difference. So in serve, I know I'm tossing the ball, and I know when the ball is going to reach that point of contact, and my racket is just going to hit it. So serve is no issue, no problem. Overheads, the ball is coming from top. I have to position myself to come under the ball to be able to hit the ball at the right spot. Now it's exactly the same as service. Your position is same, your sideways, your arm is like this. So watch the elbow. Yeah, watch the elbow. The elbow is not here. The elbow is not here. My racket is not here. My elbow is here. Yeah. So again, when you are hitting, when you are throwing the ball, you don't throw the ball like this, or you don't throw the ball like this. You throw, the best throw comes when your position is in this line. Yeah. So it's the same way for your overheads. The starting position is right here, and it's like, you know, the racket is just covering my head back there. So this is the position. Yeah. You begin, and then you just come under the ball. Now you have to come in a service position only. The ball is coming from the other side of the court. So you place yourself under the ball, and you just strike it. you have to strike the ball on top, so which is about 12 o'clock. Yeah, this is the clock. You have to hit, the point of your contact is about 12 o'clock. Or you could just do it like a serve, you could just brush it. Yeah, you could do a slice, you could just brush it like that, you could do various many things. Why overheads is an issue? There are demons attached to it. Yeah, so now let's understand the basics. uh, why we are so why we miss overheads. It's supposed to be such an easy stroke. Yeah, so as we were told when we were training, the easiest shots are the most difficult shots to hit. Yeah, because your mind is just running to the next thing. Oh, I'm going to get this shot. Oh, this is an easy kill, let's move on. Yeah, but what we don't understand is that the ball's coming, my focus is somewhere else. Yeah, or it goes into the past. Oh, I missed it last time, what if I miss it again? Yeah, so such thoughts really come over your mind, and that's when we start making mistakes for the easiest shots, easiest kills possible. Now I'm absolutely talking from my own experience, not that I don't go through this, and I know, other players, they feel this way. No, I've faced this too. Yeah, so the overhead is coming and it's like, oh, okay, I don't want to miss it, I don't want to miss it. So there are a lot of clouds of thoughts which come come over the mind, which cover the mind, and then what happens is your action gets weak. The fear takes over, or the doubt takes over. What if, so that takes over. So the best thing that I follow to overcome this is by breathing. I just focus on my breath, um, to be able to shun away all these doubts, all these negative thoughts that cloud my mind when it is supposed to matter. Yeah, so I just focus my mind on the breath, and while I hit those important shots that I want to hit, I just breathe out while I'm hitting. So that works for me. So breathing is quite an essential important part for every sports person. Yeah, so I recommend that. I hope that answers your question.
All right, ma'am. Moving on to the next question. Please show rotator cuff and shoulder injury exercises to strengthen the shoulder.
Um, well, there are basics. Definitely, there are lots, and so what are the things that I'll tell you? What are the things that you can do? There are lots of links. You can visit a physio. I may not be the correct one if you're following my exercises, set of exercises. Maybe it works for you, maybe it does not. So I'm not the correct person to guide you into this, but I can tell you, if you are into sports, playing something, you must warm up. Yeah, it is a very important part of playing. Your body has to come to a particular temperature. Your muscles have to be all warmed up to be able to play, no matter at what level you are, uh, because the chances of injuries keep getting higher with age. So definitely you've got to exercise. Number two, I would say this is a correct time to work on your weak muscles. When back in the days when we used to get injured during our tournaments, so our coaches would be very optimistic and they would be like, okay, let's work on all the weak muscles, the weak areas, in your game, in your body, etc. So this is the right time. If whichever muscle that is weak for you, you can just start working on them, developing your weak muscles. So I think you can just refer Google, or there are many physio workouts for your shoulder rotator cuff exercises.
All right, ma'am. Taking your views and on open and closed stance, when we have a closed stance, it actually takes time to switch over and get back to the other side. Whereas in open stance, being to both the options, why is that scientifically closed stance is always preferred? Just trying to compare the stance from cricket to tennis.
Right. Like I told you, so in tennis, the best powerful shots come in when your body weight your body weight is in front. Yeah, this is the best way. So if your body weight is back, you're not going to be able to generate more power. You're not going to have more stability with the body. If your body weight is forward, half the work is done. Your shots are going to be much more effortless and going to be more powerful. You can get more direction. You can get direction. You're more flexible in giving direction. It could be a cross court, short cross court, middle, down the line, whichever way you want to hit. You have more flexibility when you are up in front. But when you are back, there's not much that you can do. So with the like you said that there are challenges to switch over. That depends actually on the level of your fitness. So tennis is quite a sport which requires quick footwork. So if you want to improve, uh, switching over to a closed stance is a better idea. Yeah, you can definitely hit closed stance. There is no problem in that. The Williams began the open stance in tennis because of the fast game that they used to play. But look at their bodies; they recover even with that. So it's just more easier playing the closed stance. You'll see. Just try it out, experiment it out. You'll see it.
What is the secret to playing doubles?
Secret? Well, there's no secret. You just practice and practice and practice. So there's no secret to it. You just have a good doubles partner. You, yes, enjoy the game. You've got to enjoy the game. So even I have a lot of friends. We play club matches, etc. When you are in a competition, even at a club level, we forget that you're playing a game. You're here to enjoy the game. The moment you stop enjoying, you stop learning. And you can learn anytime, at any age you can learn. And that's how you can improve. If you're learning, you're improving. You're constantly improving. And if you follow the basics, for me it has always been going back to the basics. So what I just told you, just this is the mathematical formula that there is to hitting a forehand or a backhand or a serve or a volley or a smash. This is the basic formula. So I can just go back. If I've made a mistake, I can just go back, relate, just ponder upon it, think about it, where I made a mistake. And you can just see if there is a mistake done in any of the steps of your formula. Made a mistake. So you just try it out yourself, what works, where you've gone wrong, and enjoy the game.
All right, ma'am. There are 5 more questions. Would you want to take them right now, or you want to continue with your session?
No, sure, we'll take on the questions.
All right. When you were playing the tour, what was one technical tip which made a significant difference in your game?
Technical tip. Well, there's like I told you, tennis is a very versatile sport. There are many aspects to it. So, like, if there are 7 days to a week, I mean, 6 days, we are doing everything different. There's endurance, there is agility, reflexes, flexibility, yogasanas, meditation. Uh, you're working on all the drills, the techniques, so there is so much to it. So there's not like a particular technique, but yes, there is one aspect that we all forget as players, or as we are growing up, is taking care of the mental hygiene or mental strength. you know um, we are just we're just training every day, but at the end of the day, tennis, the competitions last for a week. So in a month we would be effectively participating in at least 2 or 3 tournaments, which means that you're facing failure every week. You've got to come back. You've really worked hard for a particular tournament, but you lose because there's only one winner. You see, there are about 32 main draw players, and then there are various other qualifiers. So there are so many players participating in a particular week, but there is only one winner. So you face failure every single week, whereas everyone equally have worked hard. But what keeps you going for years after years? Look at all these players, all the top players. They're really, really mentally tough. That's what we talk about, but do we really work on that? So this is one aspect that I worked on. Like I told you, I focus on my breath. So breathing is a very important part for every sports person. Like even today, I'm working with various athletes and other sports persons, because I teach art of living courses. And when I talk about breathing and we do breathing techniques, there is a major jump in the level of stamina increase, and to be able to handle the mood swings, the emotional up and down that we all go through. Um, so that is one part that really helped me as a person, as a player, and now as a person, even after I've stopped competitive tennis. Yeah.
How do I choose a tennis racket which is right for me?
um well, something that is comfortable for you in your hands. Yeah. um because there are many, many, many technicalities to it if you go through it. If you are playing with a coach or with experienced players around you, they can guide you better. There are some very good brands, but each brand will have many segments of rackets. So some, if you're a powerful, very strong player, you can have a heavy head racket. Yeah. But if you're not, so you can take a lightweighted racket. So it depends on, it's highly technical as well, very versatile. So yeah, you can just refer to your coach around you, or someone who's more experienced around you for this particular question.
What drills can one do to improve footwork?
Skipping is the perfect thing. um, if you can skip for like 20 minutes non-stop, 25 minutes non-stop. So because tennis means being on the toes, so you're constantly on your toes, and skipping is the best thing to achieve that. If you're able to be on the toes continuously for about half an hour, you develop that habit. So you're always bouncy, and if you're bouncy, there are more chances of reaching to point A to point B. So skipping is the best thing. You can do a lot of there are so many lines on the tennis court. Just go and touch them. Keep your own targets, your time frame, and just do a drill. Be creative. There are so many footwork drills that one can devise for themselves. um, Tennis has a break of 20 seconds between the points. So you just time it accordingly. You just do a drill, keep a break of 20 seconds, you start it again. But skipping is the best. And number two, do good core exercises. Core is a very essential part of your physical body as a sports person. The core is very, very important. So do a lot of core exercise.
Ma'am, can you please tell us about your national win?
Uh, it was the under 16 tournament, and that was the best year for me because I was also uh, chosen to be part of the Asian Games at the age of 16. So it was the highlight year for me, and it was okay because I was really strong at that time. So for me, winning it, I could see that I was going to win it.
All right, ma'am. Can you suggest how you coordinated between education and sports?
Um, Well, yeah, education is very important in India. You've got to be a graduate, you've got to keep studying, parents will not leave you. So yeah, education is important. It gives you a different dimension to life. So it's not that important. Well, for me, I did distance studies. Until my 11th class, I was going to a school, but after that I did a distance study. So even in Chandigarh, as growing up in Punjab, see, there's a sports culture. The schools, all the schools, colleges, they really support you. If you're playing nationally, you're representing the country, you're playing at that level, you've got to be really good to be able to get support basically from the education department. So yeah, but they help you, they help. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. What if your partner is letting you down in doubles? How do you deal with him or her?
um so you don't give up. That's a sportsman spirit, right? uh, no matter what the score is, you keep fighting till the end of the game. So that's the whole idea. So you've got to keep your partner's spirits high. That's your job as a team player. That is your job. You don't just give up, or you just let it be just because your player is making some mistakes. It's not that the player, your partner always plays like that. There is no always. So there are ups and downs, and what defines or determines that is uh, mm, the motivational level or the confidence level is just low at that particular point. You If you just work on that, if you just increase the motivation level, the confidence, and that player will start, you'll see, if he wins 2 3 points, he'll regain his confidence back. But you never give up. You're a team player, you have to motivate.
How do I know if I'm coaching with the right coach?
If you feel good, you think how you were 6 months ago and how you are now, if you think you're improving, so yeah, stick to the coach. But if you think you are not, maybe you can look for another. But my advice would still be that give a coach some time. Do not keep jumping onto various other coaches. You're not here to do window shopping. You give a player, a coach, a chance. Do your own hard work. Do not just put it on the coach. If you're doing your own bit, then yeah, it'll all work out. Yeah, it's a team basically. So you've got to have a relation. uh, you've got to build that trust, that faith, and everything works together. Yeah.
Who do you think is the greatest male and female player in the world and why?
uh, well, I would rate Roger Federer definitely. uh, in terms greatest in the sense, he's one person who, him and Serena Williams, They are such a personality who have brought tennis to where it is now. The kind of popularity that they have gained, the kind of passion they have instilled into many followers, the youngsters, even Rafa Nadal, I would say, the kind of love and passion they have got for the sport, that's a true star for me. Uh, because there are many achievers as it is, but these are the players who have brought so much fame and passion amongst people. And also look at their lifespan. I mean, they have given so much to tennis for so long, and staying injury free is another very important aspect as a sports person. Staying injury free is very, very important. Yeah, so these are two greatest champions according to me.
All right, ma'am. Can tennis be started at the age of 25, or would you suggest normal fitness regime?
Yeah, anytime. I know even people who've been playing at 80 plus. Yeah, like I told you, it's a simple sport. It's an enjoyable sport. You just have fun. You require four people or two people, just to play, and you just go enjoy it at any age. No problem.
Ma'am, can you share some tips on volleying?
Volleying, like I told you, a non-playing hand is equally important. So and so the body weight, again, forwards. Yeah, the non-playing hand is close. So a lot of times the mistakes that players do is the left hand is somewhere and you're hitting with the right hand. So this is wrong. So my coach taught me this way, and it really, really works. Keeping your non-playing hand close to your playing hand. It gives you more stability. It gives you more direction. Yeah. And another thing is, again, it is not a wristy sport, unlike badminton. So you do not break your wrist. You will get injured. So this wrist stays like this in a V form. It stays like this and it stays like this. Now, again, I said body weight goes forward. If you're like this, you're bound to be like this, your elbows, and you're bound to break your wrist. But if you're ahead, your elbow is out wide and your wrist is firm. So this is where you tap in. This is very, very simple. And how I learned and I developed volley is by just hitting the ball at a very slow pace. It may take time, it may be very boring, but if you just grab hold of somebody who can just hit with you when you're at the mini court, and you just go slowly, you just play around, you just hit just keep doing this continuously, you see we are just developing muscle memory. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
How difficult it is to play forehand and backhand one after other for a longer rally, and does it only work effectively if the fitness is up to the mark, or there are other fundamentals to it?
um See, for a longer rally, definitely, like I said, you need endurance, you need footwork, and just these just basics. Uh, what happens when you are doing a particular chapter on mathematics, problem like trigonometry? There are questions one after the other. What do? You just do 1 2 3 4 10 20. You're just practicing the same set. It's the same way. Like I just told you the technique, you just follow the same technique, you just follow the same formula, and that's it. Yeah, the frame of question could be different, so there could be a lobby shots, they could be a flat shot, they could be a topspin shot, they could be a spin shot, but the way you hit it, it's the same. So you are following the same technique no matter how the ball is coming to you. So from your end, you're following the basic formula by keeping your closed stance, by keeping your elbows up, by rotating your body, and that's it. Yeah, it's very simple.
All right, ma'am. Uh, we have one more question. How did you prepare for a match?
How did I prepare for the match? So belief in my training. Yeah. If you know that you have been sincere with your training, if you know that I have been true to my hard work, so I'm confident. So whoever that I'm playing, I'm ready for it. But if I know that, oh, I've been cheating, or I haven't been really preparing myself well, I've been missing out on my training sessions, or I've been cheating on my diet, so there is somewhere in the head that just keeps reminding you, just like this chat box, the question pops up and I get the notification. So you know that, okay, okay, I'm not prepared well, so a lot of doubts come in. So confidence or belief in your own training, what you are. So whoever I play, at the end of the day, the ball is going to come and hit my racket. It's not any opponent that's going to be charging at me, right? So I don't have to be scared. There's, at the end of the day, a ball going to come to me from the other side of the court. So I don't have to create demons in my head that or focusing on a particular person that I'm playing. It's if I know my technique is right, my formula is right, my hard work has been good enough. So those are the important points. And the other thing is that I used to do yogasanas and breathing techniques. They help you to get rid of unwanted thoughts, um, and negative emotions. You see, there is a very beautiful phenomena that I'd like to share with you. Uh, Whenever there are different emotions, there is a corresponding breath to it. So in case I am angry, I have a very fast and short breath. But in case I'm fearful, just before going to a match, I feel breathless. I feel, oh my god, I don't get any oxygen into my system, so there's no breath coming in because I'm very fearful. And when you are sick, when you are ill, you will notice that your breathing becomes very, very heavy. If you sit next to a sick person, you will notice that their breathing is very difficult. Yeah. Or when you're very excited, you take a very long breath in, but your exhalation is very short. So with every breath, and like now, the breath is very normal and light because you're relaxed right now. So this is a very beautiful phenomena that every emotion um, has a corresponding breath to it. So if you realize this, then you can actually control over your emotions. So if you're fearful, you can just focus on your breath. If uh, you're very anxious or you're getting angry, you can just focus on your breath, and you can be relaxed and stress free. So breathing is a very, very important aspect for a sports person. So as I was growing up, we used to do a lot of yogasanas. Not that I was very a fan of those yogasanas. They used to be very boring. As a sports person, we're so used to the activity, the fast reflexes and etc. You want something action, action oriented things going on around. but yoga is very slow, and it's very slow, though it works on your flexibility. But today when I see, it is, every yogasana is very scientific. It not only improves your flexibility, your reachability. When you are doing it even for a week or 10 days, you will notice that's how fast the body responds. Yeah. But it also, every asana also, it works on your organs, on your nerves. So it's very, very deep actually. There is a whole lot of science to every yogasana. So if you notice, and if you see now, a lot of these top athletes, sports persons, they have adopted to the yoga and the breathing, the meditations, the visualization exercises. This is all that they all do. So we must, as Indians, I would say that we must involve this beautiful knowledge that we hold in our country, in our culture, and this is something very, very valuable and will help a lot of youngsters, a lot of children that are taking up a sport or doing anything, because right now the retention time is very, very less. The children are so anxious, they want something new like every moment. So there is no stability, because the kind of activities that we are doing every day, they are so volatile. Yeah, we want something new, but yoga is something that just completely slows you down. So when you're doing such certain activities in your source within, it brings stability in you, it brings stability in the body. You're able to sit in one position, or you're able to sit and concentrate to a particular point or subject, and it brings a lot of stability in your mind. So there are no commitment issues, like I want to play, pick up a sport, and it requires a lot of discipline and hard work. But if you see around now, children take up something, and after 6 months they say, oh no, I'm not enjoying it, I want to move on. Or even with youngsters these days, because there's no stability, there is nothing that we are doing to stabilize our body and the mind. So this is something very, very important that we should think about and do.
Can you please suggest some yogasanas or meditation techniques to keep your mind serene and fresh all the time?
Yeah, well, there's Surya Namaskar. That's like the best yogasana that you can do. It has 12 sets of exercises in one go. Takes care of all your body from head to toe. So it's a beautiful way to tone up your body actually. So there is no upper limit to it. You can just go on. You can do about 20, 30, 50, 100 Surya Namaskars even, and it makes you very, very strong. It works on all your joints and your basic muscle groups. So Yogasana is good, and there are many online guided meditations that you can do. You can enroll for an Art of Living program as well. It's really fantastic. The Sudarshan Kriya that we teach, it's very, very effective, impactful, which has worked for millions of people all over the world. So breathing technique is something very good, because it increases your lung capacity. You can use up to 90% of your lung capacity, whereas now what we are breathing is only 30% of our lung capacity. So there is a huge difference to what we can do with our lungs. um, if we are all sports persons that who are listening right now, if there is any injury and you go to a physiotherapist, so whatever that they do, be it icing or a particular ultrasonic treatment that they do, or manipulation, anything that they do, it is to increase the mobility in that particular area. It is to increase the blood flow in that area. Why blood flow? Because it carries oxygen, And when there is a lot of oxygen flushed into a particular point in a muscle, that that carries a lot of nutrition and it replenishes, and the recovery is much faster. So imagine when you're breathing up to 90% of your lung capacity, now there is so much oxygen that goes into your system, which actually rejuvenates every cell in your body. So you're actually fit, you're more efficient, you can clear think, uh, there is more clarity in the mind, there is more confidence in what you do, because you're not always doubting, to your positive qualities. So but whenever you are thinking negative, you're always doubting the positive, so the fear does not pop in. So there are many advantages to doing breathing exercises.
Ma'am, can you show us how to hit a smash?
I just did. If you are late, I think we had a short chat on the overhead section there. Who's
All right,
asking?
ma'am. All right. Ma'am, we move on to the next question then.
Yes.
What do you usually eat when you have a match or when you are approaching a match in a day or two? And how many meals you used to take? And how much time did you give to tennis in your younger days? And how much time for fitness?
So my overall regime on court used to be about 6 to 7 hours. Um, so about 4 to 5 hours, 4.5 hours of tennis, and the rest for fitness, or even more for fitness. And the recovery is very important, equally important. You're working out, because now there is more awareness as to when we used to play amongst our coaches, but now there is a lot of awareness on recovery, on injury free training. Yeah. So recovery is equally important. Recovery involves with your nutrition, hydration, and sleep. Yeah, and releasing the tight muscles. So there is a way to release particular muscles. You can go Google, refer your physios for all that. Sleep 6 to 8 hours at a stretch at night is the most optimum. You need that kind of rest. Food, keeping a light meal, eating something that can be digested fast. So eating heavy meals, meat, or the kind of food that will take more time to digest is what I used to avoid. Hydrating myself with isotonic drinks or lemonades or nariyal pani that we have in India. It's really a lovely drink that one can have. So hydrating is very important. Yeah. And during the matches, you can have bananas, and that's it. Each to their own, actually. We used to have somebody on court who used to sip onto honey during matches. So each to their own, actually.
All right, ma'am. How can we deal with the sun getting in eyes while tossing for a serve, as many AITA matches happen in afternoon? Even caps don't help.
You've just got to deal with it. there is no technique to it, but you just got to deal with it yourself. um, with the overheads, yes, you can play around. You can do a drive instead of hitting a overhead, but for your serves, you just got to find the particular point on the baseline where you think would be more comfortable. So you don't so if you're serving against the sun, you don't necessarily have to go for all your first serves. Yeah. You go for your second serves. The most important is to get the ball in play. rather than hitting double faults. You can try, if you're able to deal with it, go ahead with your first serve if it's working for you, but otherwise do second serves.
All right, ma'am. We will be ending the question sessions now because we don't have any more questions. But before ending this, ma'am, what will be your message to the tennis fraternity?
um Tennis is a beautiful sport, as I told you. It's really fantastic. Love the sport, enjoy the sport. Just remember why you started playing it. You playing it for the fun of it, because you love it, you enjoy it, the friends you have around, you go out, you go to beautiful court, and you just go there to enjoy. It brings in a lot. You don't think short term that, oh, I'm not gaining much success in it, what is the use, what is the point in playing it. But you can even play the sport till the age of 80, 90, till you're alive. You make many friends throughout your life. So it's something beautiful. Carry on playing, and be like I told you, just be sincere to your training. If you're training to be a player at a national level or an international level, be true to your training. Then you will have no regrets. You see, even if I know that I was not world number one. You see, as all of us, as we are growing up, like a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 16-year-old, you play it thinking that, one day I'm going to be world number one, or I'm going to play grand slam. Yeah. But even if those dreams did not come true, but you have gone out every day to a court or a playing field, giving all out, giving 100%. And when you do that, you're just happy. You've got no regrets, because you gave the best to your ability. That's most important. So enjoy your sport and be sincere to your training and stick to it. Don't think short term that if something is not working out, but just carry on. Be consistent. It'll work out.
All right, ma'am. Then, do you have anything else to discuss? Because we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
And
Just one more thing before leaving. See, sport also it enhances immunity. Today, the whole world is talking about immunity during this pandemic, but you see, sports persons, they come out of it because the spirit is really high amongst all the sports persons. You want to go out, you want to be positive, your adrenaline is really high. Immunity is something that you cannot buy it off the shelf. Okay, I can just pay cash, or I can just get it off the credit card. No, this is something that you've got to earn. And as sports persons, uh, you gain it. This is one thing that you improve on. So yeah, just keep playing the sport and encourage more and more people to play sports. It could be anything that they enjoy. People need to get out of their homes and be active, and take care of their health and nutrition. So that's most important. Yeah, so on that note, I'd really like to thank all of you to listen and participate. And thank you, CFL and Indrajit, for having me over and talk about lovely topics.
thank you very much, ma'am, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
We'll be ending the session now. Thank you, ma'am.